Shalom, shalom, everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is our weekly Shabbat class that we're having from the School of Knowledge of the Nation of Yehuda, and we'd like to say thank you so much for joining us. There was a question that was posed on Thursday night that prompted me to do this teaching, and it's very interesting teaching where we were talking about the great deception. We were talking about the Muslims and the Israelites, the children of Israel being within the Muslim religion and within the Christian religion and all the religions all over the earth. We have been scattered. This is an interactive class, and you're welcome to participate, ask questions, make a comment. This is what we do. Some people are uncomfortable with it because sometimes it seems like it's all over the place, but we're passionate people. And while we're small and, we don't have 1,000 people on here, we can do this. As we continue to grow, we may have to try to do it a little bit different, but we still want that interaction because that's very important. Just want to say shalom, shalom to all of our Muslim brothers and sisters and our Christian brothers and sisters and all of the rest of our brothers and sisters that are undecided as to who they serve or the other gods of who you serve, because the Most High made it very clear that we were going to be made to serve other gods of wood and of stone. And we have to understand that is a part of our curse and our punishment, because we know that we're being punished. We are the children of Israel. We are of the tribe of Yehuda. And we are in captivity in America. We are in America and scattered all over the earth in a captivity because of our disobedience. So I just want who don't know what we stand for. Sister Sanaya, if you don't mind letting the people in on how to see the screen.
Okay, sure. Yeah, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. For those who are interested in joining us on and seeing the screen, you can go up to the URL line and put in www.freeconferencecall.com. Okay, enter. Okay, when you get to the page, you can see at the top a drop-down menu starting with free conference call. And when you get to online meetings, click online meetings. Okay, and then hit join meeting. Then a small box will open up, and it asks you for your online meeting ID, and that would be newcomers with an S, class. One word, lowercase letters. Newcomers class. Put that in the box and hit submit, which will take you to a page where they'll ask for your name and email address, and then there's a small blue box down below where you hit join. So click on join. Okay, and that would get you into the screen. And what you should see now is waiting for a presenter to share their screen.
All right, so the screen is being shared, and there's a PowerPoint presentation up there, and I want to know if everybody can see it.
Yes, I can see it. Yes, I can see it.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All righty. All right, Sister Naya said yes, she can see it. Everybody can see it. Shalom, shalom. And here we go. Well, the reason why we did this particular teaching is because I think that it's very important that we go into end-time prophecies and things like that, because the closer that we get, and believe me when I tell you we're getting very, very close. I can't stress enough to everybody that's listening under the sound of our voices to go out to the store and get some water. Get you some cases of water. Best place to go is Sam's. They have them really cheap. I think the last time I bought a case of, I think it's 48 bottles for like $3 and some change. It can't hurt to have about 4 cases of water. Now, I take the water with me when I go to work, and I drink the water continuously, and I just replenish them as they start to be getting low. So, don't just have them sit, drink them, and replenish. For $3 and some change, I mean, really, and not only water, but make sure you have some, at least a month's supply worth of food, whether you do it in canned goods, whether you do it in however you choose to do it. Make sure that you have the things that you need to sustain you, because the rest of the world is getting prepared for something. I don't know whether it's going to be an economic collapse or whether we're going to have a visitor from another planet. I don't know how they're going to do it, but it's definitely coming. So we definitely do that, to make sure we give this information to make sure that you're not caught out there without anything at all whatsoever. I was listening to one of the people of the other nations the other night, and they informed us that when everything goes out and the cell phones and stuff go down, that the best way to be able to communicate is to get you a satellite phone. Now, I'm going to get some information because I don't know how much they cost. I haven't had a chance to do it because it's the Sabbath, and I didn't want to go searching for that stuff on the Sabbath. So, but they said that a satellite phone will give you the opportunity to be able to talk if the cell phones go down. So I just wanted to throw that out there for you. We're going to investigate it, though, to make sure, that you'll be able to communicate it with, at least with somebody. So, whatever you do it.
Let me chime in on that also. Now, satellite phone might work for a while, but they're going to knock out all of that stuff. You understand? The thing that I suggest, you understand, is the CB radio. That works on wavelengths. The only reason
that's good too. Yeah.
The only reason that they stopped using CBs is because they got the satellite. But the satellite ain't never stopped working. I mean, the CB ain't never stopped working. It works on wavelengths.
Mhm. Well, I mean, like I said, all of it is good. However you choose to do it, whether it's a CB radio, whether it is a satellite phone, get something, so that you'll have something and have somebody and designate someone to be your contact with your family members in different cities so that you'll know what to do. You all that are on this phone, just like we were earlier, you all are of the elect, chosen to wake us up. And he's waking us up for a reason, because the masses are not awakened yet. They're not. So what we have to do is get this information and pass it to them, or at least open up dialogue so that we can begin talking to them. And then somebody will say, well, they're not listening. They don't want to listen. They will once the stuff hit the fan. Believe me, when it starts looking like it's getting bad, even if you don't do nothing but email them a list of things that you need to get for survival in the event of a natural disaster. Put it like that. In the event that there's a natural disaster or economic collapse, these are the things that you need to have to sustain yourself until the things are worked out. And just email everybody in your family the list so they'll have it and they'll know. Because there's nothing else we can do. We can't make anybody do anything. So this is the reason why we're doing this is, so that we get this together. We were talking about the Great Deception, and it came to my mind that we don't really talk about end-time prophecies like we should, because it's time now to get us prepared for it. And I was going to try to do a presentation and do all of the 3 together, but that's too much information. Because when I started to deal with the Muslims, I went and found out so much information. I was like, wow, some stuff I didn't even know. I mean, I knew about the Mahdi, but I didn't know to the extent that I have found out today. She said, Lavia said, Aldis in Dallas, Texas has cases of water for $1.99. Can't beat that. Get some water. Get some water stored up. Get some water stored up. You can't survive off of just water either. You have to get some food stored up. If the emergency goes out and something happens with the emergency, get you a barbecue pit so you can cook. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to really get creative. We don't know what's going to happen, but we know that they're preparing for something. So let me get back to the lesson. The Great Deception, 3 different messiahs, all 3 are black. Very important to know. I don't think, Sister Lavia, can you see the screen now or no? Let me send me a chat or something. Okay. But anyway, so this is what we're doing. This is what they consider to be the Mahdi. I put some pictures together because I wanted you guys to kind of have a visual. This is the Muslims' Mahdi, and they spell it M-A-H-D-I. This is all considered to be for the Muslims. And I kind of got some pictures off of the internet and everything because I like to put some visuals with it so you can see. This person is supposed to be their savior. And we're going to... Okay, here we go. One moment. Okay, it says Muslim religion. It says 2 of the most dangerous apocalyptic Muslim groups that strongly believe in the establishment of a global state and believe in the annihilation of non-Muslim nations are the Islamic State and the leaders of the Islamic Republic of Iran. No? Very important.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Ain't they the same people, the Iranian Islamic people, are the same people that held us captive for 1,500 years?
Yeah.
So, and the Almighty said that all those people that have mistreated us and held us captive is going to be destroyed.
Right, and at some point. Now, whether they're destroyed immediately, I don't think so. But let me get through it, and I'm going to show you. This is just what they believe. I'm sharing with you what they believe. This is their symbol. This is the Islamic symbol. You see it a lot. I know I do. I see it a lot in different fashions. And then it says the Mahdi. Apocalyptic Muslims have long believed that the appearance of the Mahdi would coincide with a civil war in the lands of Sham, which is Syria, which will destroy the country. Now, this is what they had as a picture of a Mahdi. Now, of course, back in the day, he was a black man. He looked black because he was from Iraq. Now, let me ask you the question. Were the people in Iraq of color?
Yes, they were. The Aboriginals.
Yes, they were, weren't they? This is one of the pictures. Here's some more pictures. This man claims to be the Mahdi. This one here in the middle. And I've always told the Israelites that whoever this man of deception is going to be, he is going to be of color. I always said that. Any questions? All right, here we go. Islamic rulers. In addition, Iraq will be engulfed with domestic militia wars. They also believe that other non-Muslims will become vulnerable to Muslims and Islamic rulers. Now, this is a picture of a brother from the Muslim faith, he considered himself to be the Mahdi, and he's meeting with Winston Churchill. Now, they've had several of them, almost 11, and they're waiting on this 12th one to come. And this one that they have is supposed to be the end-all, tell-all of their faith and their belief. It's supposed to be their Savior. These are black men. This is very important to understand. These people are of color. And think it not strange that we're waking up today, that we're waking up to the fact that we are the Israelites. Because remember, we always talk about the chess game. Everybody is strategically placed on the chessboard, and the players are moving around according to Yah's will. So for 400 years, we have been in this country. They told us we was Gentiles. We've gone into the different religions, whether we went into Christianity, whether we went into the Muslim religion, whether we went into Catholic religion, whether we went into Buddhism, whatever we went into, We were told that we were no people and that we were a Gentile people. We were told that we were from the lineage of Ham. All right, here we go. Muhammad. The Shiite clerics of Iran believe that Mahdi is the child of Muhammad, the hidden imam, and the 12th imam. So he is supposed to be the son of Muhammad. Disappear to reappear. They argue that Muhammad al-Mahdi was born thousands of years ago and disappeared to reappear later when certain signs emerge. So they are waiting on this man to show up. They're waiting on him to come on the scene.
Question.
Yes, sir.
If I'm not mistaken, this doctrine was written up by Catholics, or the Catholic that was made up by the Catholics, if I'm not mistaken. Is that true?
What doctrine? What do you mean?
The Muslim doctrine, Mohammed.
That's what I've heard. I've heard people say that. I've heard different people teach that. Some of the Israelites on the corner teaches that. I've heard that. I have. I mean, but like I said, as we go into this information, this is just what they believe. I didn't really research the foundation of where the Muslim religion came from, but what they stand for and what they believe. And they are waiting. They said that this man was born thousands of years ago and disappeared to reappear later when certain signs emerge. So just like the Christians is waiting on Jesus to show up, the Israelites is waiting on Yah to show up, they are waiting on this person to show up.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to quit in a minute. When you talk about religion, anybody could be of that sect. Any other nation can be of that sect. That's not a way of life. That's something that's taught that you could follow. Everybody could follow.
Right.
That's all I wanted to know.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll make a statement. Okay, so now I'm looking at this as you have the Islam, and then you have Christianity, and those are the fastest growing religions today.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So now here it is that the Israelites start rising up. It's like we're in between, rising in between both of them. So
right.
That means that we all three are waiting on, each one of us are waiting on a different God.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
So when the real God rises up and they see that he is the God of Israel, can we say that that's when all these other nations are going to attack us, like the Muslim and the Christians? I don't know. I was just thinking here. It's like.
Well, now I don't know about I don't know I haven't charted out the response of how this is going to be. Right now, I'm just laying the foundation of what they believe, and then I'm going to lay the foundation of what the Christians believe, and that whether they're waiting on Jesus and what the Antichrist is to them. And then I'm going to lay the foundation of what the Israelites believe and what they're waiting for, to show you that there is a very close resemblance to them all, and that the deception is going to be great.
Right. But if those whose eyes are faithful and on the eyes of Yah, we should be able to see the difference, because the other two, obviously the other two is not. Well, not all of us, but I mean those who. Well, I mean, I know he said if it wasn't for what is that scripture says that if he didn't come, the very elect would be lost.
They would be fooled.
Right, food. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to visualize the picture. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, so it's a possibility that this foundation is going to be so tough, that the whomever it is, I'm just laying, like I said, right now I'm just laying the foundation of the different ones.
Right.
But whomever it is, the deception is going to be so tough that you're going to have to really be prayed up, fasted up, and know Yah's word, and so that he and follow his laws, statutes, and his commandments, so that He will protect you, and you won't fall prey to
Exactly. Okay.
Because it's going to be there. And you know, a lot of people think, oh, we're going to skip that. We ain't going to have to go. No, yeah, you're going to have to go through this. Because the Scripture says this is going to be a real live time in the lifestyle that we're living right now, and that the elect is Israel, and that is, if the days weren't shortened, He said no flesh would be left, and He said, and if the Most High didn't come, the very elect would be fooled.
Wow.
Let me make a comment if you don't mind. Go ahead. Somebody else. You have a follow up?
No, I have a question, but go ahead. I can wait.
Okay. My thing is that we don't have the blood to put on the doors anymore.
No.
So the recognition of us is that we have turned from our wicked ways and we seek the Almighty. That would be the recognition of, so that we don't get caught up in this great destruction, because we don't have the blood. The angel of death is going to pass over us because of our participation. Well, I want to say, for lack of a better word, you understand, that we've become knowledgeable of who our Creator is, and that we turning from our wicked ways. That's the only way that we could that the Almighty will be able to recognize who to pass over and who not to. Can I be corrected? If I'm wrong.
The choice is going to be. You're right. You know what I'm saying. It's all according to whether you keep the laws, the statutes, and the commandments. That you're going to have to be at a place where you know that no matter what, you stick to Yah's word. You have to.
The only way that you're going to be recognized, because remember now, you understand, when we was back when we were back in Egypt, you understand, we could put the blood on our door, and the Almighty the angel of death would pass us over. You understand? We don't have that going on today. It's going to be a destruction that's never been known to man. You understand? And so everybody's going to be all over everywhere. But if you prayed up and called on the Almighty and your heart is pure, then that's the way he can save you out of this mess. If I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong.
All right, Sister Sanaya.
Okay, thank you. Now, in terms of the three major religions that we know of today, you know, like Islam, Christianity, and Judaism, you know, like the Jewish, you know, in terms of the Jewish people.
Right.
What are the so-called Jewish people waiting on?
The Messiah. They have their own Messiah, too.
Okay.
Everybody has their own. That's why we have to understand that everybody's preparing for it. Everybody's waiting for it. Even in Israel, some of them still waiting on the Messiah, because we know within our nation of our people, all of them did not accept or don't believe that the Messiah who came way back when was the Messiah. So everybody is waiting on somebody. That is the key to this teaching, that everybody is waiting on somebody. So I just want to lay this out for what the Muslims think, and I have references to where this information came from, so that if you guys would like the reference information, I can give it to you after we have the class, and you can read more.
Yeah, and I'm curious.
So, he will appear. It says, on the other hand, sorry?
I said, is the so-called Jewish people's Messiah black too?
Well, now that's a good question. I would say this. Look at Barack Obama. Look at President Barack Obama. He's Jewish. His mother, on his grandmother's side, were Jewish. So he's considered to be Jewish. Does he look black?
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Yes, you do.
based on the mother.
Brother Donia, can you hang up and call back in? Your phone is really rattling. It's making a lot of noise. Could you do me a favor and just call back in? It may change the way you sound dramatically. I'll leave it open for your question, but it really sounds rattly for some reason. I don't know what it is.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anybody else before he calls back in?
Yes, is Christianity and the Jewish people, are they waiting for the same Messiah?
No. Because the Christian people are waiting for Jesus to return.
Right.
The Jewish people don't even believe that Jesus was Jesus.
Okay.
Even the fake Jesus was Jesus. No.
Okay.
They don't believe in that. They're waiting on their own Messiah to show up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Everybody's waiting on somebody, and that's something that we have to always remember, that during this thing, everybody's waiting on somebody. Brother Donnie, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? It sound any better?
No, it's still rattling. You might want to take it off a speaker because it's rattling a lot. It's making a lot of noise for some reason. I don't know what it is.
Does it sound any better?
Yes, now it does tremendously.
All right, my question is, not my question, but my comment is that who you are, whether you're a man or a woman, is not based on no woman. You say his mother was Jewish, so that makes him Jewish. I don't think so.
Well, I know what you're saying, and don't get me wrong. I'm not teaching it from an Israelite perspective. I'm saying from their standpoint, the way they believe, because the fake Jews believe that the lineage comes through the mother, which we know is not right. But according to what they believe, he's considered to be a Jew under their teaching.
Okay.
Because they send the lineage to the mother. We know the lineage comes through the father, according to Numbers chapter 1. We know that. That's something that we know, that whatever the scripture says, they have the opposite going on. We know that. But according to them, if your mother is Jewish, you're Jewish, or whatever they Jewish is. You know what I'm saying? So just wanted to lay that foundation. Okay, this one says he will appear. On the other hand, the apocalyptic Muslim leaders of the Islamic State believe that the Mahdi has not yet been born, but this is the time that he will appear in the world. Now, some of them believe he hasn't been born. The Imam Mahdi. More importantly, anyone who rules the Islamic Republic of Iran and the Islamic State, currently Khomeini and Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, considers himself as the only true representative of the Imam Mahdi on earth, as long as the Mahdi remains hidden. So whoever is the president of those countries, however they run it, they are the representative of the Mahdi on earth, just like the Catholic Church says that they the representative of Christ.
Question.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this who this ISIS and or what they call ISIL? Is that part of this? What you were talking about?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, yes, and yes, and yes, and yes.
Okay.
I used
Absolutely,
to think that America
yes.
was behind that, but okay.
Right. Well, that's what they say. They say America was really ISIS, Israel and America together. All right, at the end of time. Now watch what both sides say. Both sides take these critical beliefs and divine guidance from Muhammad's statement that at the end of time, my Ummah, the Mahdi, will appear. So the closer we get to the end of the time, guess what? Everybody's getting reared up. Can you imagine what it's like to be the Israelites is talking about Yah is getting ready to come. You know, the Muslims is talking about the Mahdi is coming. Then you got the Christians talking about Jesus is on the way. You know, and then you can break that up, and then you got the Catholics talking about the aliens is coming. I mean, it's just one thing after another. As we get closer to the end of time, they're going to wrap all of it up in a nice package and make it make sense. It's not going to be all over the place. Believe me when I tell you. It's not going to be this sect over here saying this, and this sect over here saying this, and these people over here saying this. No, whomever the man of deception is going to be when he show up, it's going to make so much sense that a lot of people are going to be fooled. All right, here we go. Allah will grant him rain. The earth will bring forth its fruit. He will give a lot of money. Cattle will increase, and the Ummah will become great. His name will be my name, and his father's name, my father's name. This is what they said is quoted about this person. You're going to hear a lot of things that sound similar to a lot of things. Here we go. Only one day is left. Even if the entire duration of the world's existence has already been exhausted and only one day is left before doomsday, Allah will expand that day to such length of time as to accommodate the kingdom of a person from my Abuba, the family of Muhammad, who will be called by my name. So they saying that if there ain't but one day left on the whole earth, that one day going to span out 1,000, one day is as 1,000 years, it's going to span out 1,000 years so that he'll be able to accomplish, to be able to complete the kingdom on the earth. Who else is supposed to have 1,000-year reign?
Jesus.
Yahweh Shah, right? He's supposed to have 1,000-year kingdom reign. You're gonna hear a lot of things that sound really similar. I'm just laying out what they think. The sixth Imam of the Shiites. In addition, Iran's supreme leader strongly believes in the prophetic statement of Jafar al-Sadiq, the sixth Imam of the Shiites. Who is the Mahdi? When someone asks the sixth Imam, O son of messenger of God, who is the Mahdi of your clan? And this is another picture that I kind of got out of here. Look at how they got the doves and stuff around him like they had with Christ, with the Holy Spirit and all that around him. They got the same exact stuff. Watch. He answered, conquer the world. The Mahdi will conquer the world. At that time, the world will be illuminated by the light of Allah, and everywhere in which those other than Allah are worshipped will become places where Allah is worshipped. They say he's going to conquer the world. Everybody going to follow this man. This is what the Muslims is waiting on.
Can I make a statement or ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure. Okay, so can we say, well, we know that Satan is behind all of this. So to me, it's almost like, he's creating all these different religions and these so-called messiahs just to confuse God's chosen. Almost like going back to Psalms 83 with all the nation that did the deception. These are some of these are the same nation that's in Psalms 83, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And the thing about it is that you have to understand about the scriptures. Satan is going to have his day to rule.
Yes.
He is going to get his 3.5 years on this earth to rule. He's going to get that. So all of this is playing into his time to rule. So, that's why I tell everybody when we complete our 400-year sentence, we can't say that it's over. Because
I'm sorry. So when you say rule, you mean, we know he's ruling, this is his world, his kingdom. So when you say rule, you mean a one religion that everyone has to.
He's coming here to rule under one religion. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Now,
one religion, one faith. That's what the whole deception is all about. Is the mark of the beast, the chip, all this has to do with his time to rule. He wants to have the whole earth under his submission. Now, during that time, I do believe that the Most High is going to make a way for Israel to be in safety and go into the wilderness if you make it during that time.
So would that be the time of trouble under that one rule?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
it's going to be a part. Yes, ma'am. It's all going to lead into one big nice package.
Now, what that says that he's going to be set apart after 1,000 years?
Can't hear you, Jalen. Say that a little louder. What you say?
I said, what is that says that God will release the devil for 1,000 years, or after 1,000?
Oh, that's after. That's way after.
He will bound him for 1,000 years.
Yeah, he's going to bound him and then release him, but that's after the 1,000-year reign. We're talking about the tribulation period right now.
Okay. See, I don't even know the order.
Well, that's what I'm showing you. Right now, I'm just showing you how right now what we're doing is the Israelites are in captivity. We're scattered all over the world. We're serving under different religions because Yah said we were made to serve other gods of wood and of stone. And then you have the Zionists who are trying to bring, the globalists are trying to bring the whole world under one rulership. And with that one rulership is going to come a ruler. And with that one ruler is going to come a one world religion. And with that one world religion is going to come a one economic system. And with that one economic system is going to come the RFID chip where the money's going to be taken out of the scene. But right now I'm introducing you the options of the leaders of the different beliefs of the different religions.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody thinks that their Savior is the one that's going to stand at the end of the day. And the one that's going to create, will bring the peace. All right, here we go. The religion of Allah. And even if the proselytes, watch what it says, do not wish it, the only faith on that day will be the religion of Allah. Here we go. War in Syria and Iraq. According to the Islamic Republic and the Islamic State, the first and second prophecies, civil war in Syria and Iraq, have already come true.
That means right now.
That's why it's very important to watch Syria. You know,
right.
As they doing it, yes, ma'am, right now. They're dealing with Syria right now. Here we go. Weakness of non-Muslims. The third one, vulnerability and weakness of non-Muslims, has also come true because of the capabilities of the Islamic State to inflict terror on non-Muslims and the recent nuclear agreement with Iran, which proves the Western government's weakness in dealing with Iran.
Absolutely.
Right now.
Right now. I'm sorry.
I'm just laying the cards out on the table, and I'm giving you the research of what I found out. I'm laying it out on the table so you'll be able to see. Here we go. Nuclear bomb. A deal that will empower Iran, ensure the hold on power of the Ayatollah, and put Iran on a certain path to nuclear bomb after the agreement ends. That's my reference. I will send it to you if you want. I'll put it on the page and send it to you. This is Mecca.
Mm-hmm.
Is that people? Whoa.
That's people. Yes, ma'am. That's men.
Oh, my God.
That's men. That's Mecca.
Mm.
Men. That's Muslim. That's Ishmael right there.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Lord have mercy.
They're very powerful people. They have a very powerful country, and they have a very powerful religion.
You know, no, I hear people say that Esau is not the white man, but is Ishmael or Ishmael.
Me too. I heard that as well.
And I'm looking at this and like, well.
No, I wouldn't say that, but I mean, I don't know. We'll get into that too. You know what? When you get into that who's who, and you can only read, everybody's reading the same books and coming to the same different conclusions.
Yeah,
and it's all over the place.
Yeah.
It's all over the place.
Right.
So all we can do is focus on, you know, what you choose to believe and try to get our minds together so we can handle all this stuff when it come at us.
Right.
Because everybody getting their information from some sort of book somewhere.
Mm-hmm. But it was saying the reason that Ishmael would be a Muslim or Arab or something of that nature.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is Ishmael's people right here.
Well, aren't they mixed with European too?
Huh?
They're mixed with European too.
Well, you know, the white man done went around and whitewashed everybody.
I know.
Everybody. I mean, when you go on to see the Arabs, you know, these were black people at some point, but so was Africa. Go into Africa and see how many Africans you really see. Most of the time you see white people.
Yeah, colonizing, yeah.
Yeah, so they've gone through the whole earth. But that's why it's good to know your history, because then you will know the original people that were of the lineage of Abraham were black people.
Right, right. Mm-hmm.
And Ishmael is a Hebrew.
Yeah.
Now, he's not an Israelite, but he is a Hebrew.
Right.
But this is Mecca. These are all men, and there go the cobblestone. I mean, they holy stone right there. All right, a savior. Muslims see the Mahdi as a savior who will lead a global revolution and establish a worldwide Islamic empire. This is what they're looking for. The Caliph of Islam. The Mahdi will rule the earth as the final Caliph of Islam. A Caliph is a political ruler and a spiritual representative of Allah on the earth.
So that's why ISIS is doing all this killing to hasten his come?
I guess that's what they think. I guess if that's truly ISIS and not somebody else trying to make it seem like it is them.
Right, right.
If that's what it is.
Yes, but that's what they are supposed to be fighting for now.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, a caliphate, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is another picture of him trying to rule the earth. They want him to rule the earth. Jesus called Isa. Muslims revere Jesus, whom they call Isa, as the Messiah. In Islamic eschatology, the Mahdi will arrive at the same time that Isa returns.
I sound close to Isa.
We go with the Christian religion. This is what they believe. Watch what it says.
Mm-hmm.
Isa will assist the Mahdi. Isa will descend to earth in Syria, east of Damascus, dressed in a yellow robe, and will assist the Mahdi, who will rule over the world for 7 years, or in some Islamic traditions, 9 or 19 years. Day of Judgment. At the end of the Mahdi rule, there will be a day of judgment for the entire human race. They really think this guy is coming. I mean, this is what they believe. The parallels. The parallel between the biblical Antichrist and the Mahdi of Islam are chilling. Both are associated with end times and the judgment. I got something I want to show you guys real quick. I put something together here too for you. Let me pull it up here. Anybody have any questions? No questions at all?
Not at this moment.
That's different. All right, let me find my clip for me. One moment. I saved it, so I want to be able to play it for you. It's really short. Don't take a long time. But it's very interesting how it all plays together. I'm telling you, the more you research this stuff, it's like, wow. Let me see. All right, here we go. I think I found it. Yep, it's really interesting. It's like, whoa. It is. All right, here we go. I'm going to open up my screen in just a minute. Let me get this going. Here we go. Of course, we're going to have trouble. Uh-oh, sorry about that, you guys. I apologize. Let me go back here.
17 means business. Own one. Express franchise owners average 5.6 million.
I apologize for that. You know they have to run commercials. But this is very interesting how they put this together, so I had to bring this in. I want you guys to be able to hear this.
Tonight you're going to hear things that you agree with and disagree with, and you're going to be pushed hard. Mm-hmm. If you are a Christian or a Muslim, both of these are probably there are going to be different points of view, and so they're going to probably hack you off. But I don't always say what I want to say. I say what I think we have to. Don't take anything at face value. Do your own homework. Make your own decision. This is information you need to know, and we're all people here, so we have to try to get it right, but know that it's going to push you to the limits. Tonight I'm going to show you the apocalyptic version of Christianity and the Twelvers in Iran, and also the people that believe in the extreme ends of the Mahdi out of the Muslim Brotherhood. And it's not good. I want to introduce you to Joel Richardson. He is the author of The Islamic Antichrist. How are you, sir? Very good. Good to see you. And also, we're going to talk to Zuhdi Jasser. He is a practicing Muslim and a physician, also the president of the American Islamic Forum for Democracy, and he's going to join us in just a few minutes. But I wanted to start here with Joel and talk a little bit about the 12th Imam and the Mahdi as understood by Ahmadinejad and also the nut jobs at the top of the Muslim Brotherhood. Same basic guy, right?
There's a difference with regard to how they emerge onto the world scene, but once they arrive, they're essentially the same individual.
The Twelvers believe it's the 7-year-old. Is he going to come back as a 7-year-old, or does it matter?
I believe he comes back as an adult.
As an adult, okay. And the Mahdi is not the 7-year-old for the Muslim Brotherhood, but he does the same things.
He's an individual that comes back and just emerges out of humanity in order to elevate the Islamic world, to bring the Islamic world together and cause Islam to be victorious throughout the earth.
Okay, first let me go on this, because we have some comparisons of the book of Revelation and then the story of the 12th Imam or the Mahdi. And it is, America, it will blow your mind. It will blow your mind. Let's start first here. Let's start with chaos. Why would anyone want chaos?
According to Islamic tradition, it is out of chaos that their Messiah, the Mahdi, would emerge onto the world scene.
Okay. That is the same basic story that Christians believe. It's going to be a 7-year tribulation. It's going to be nasty for 7 years. And bloodshed, there's not going to be anybody left, really, towards the end. And then the Messiah comes, right?
Delivers the earth, redeems the earth, restores creation, right, and delivers his people.
Okay. So it's the same kind of chaos we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And both stories have the beheadings of people in it, right?
Right.
Okay.
The Bible says that the method whereby the Antichrist would kill his enemies, Jews and Christians, is through beheading. And then, interestingly enough, it's Islam. It's actually in the Quran. It says, strike the necks of the infidels. Some translations say, behead the infidels.
Okay.
Islam has this rich tradition of beheading their enemies.
But these guys believe that the 12th Imam is coming if they create enough chaos. So, in other words, wash the world in blood, because I don't know if, do you know of any Christian sects that believe they can hasten the return of Jesus by creating chaos?
No, they can pray.
Yeah, okay. But this would be, so you can kind of understand, this would be like some kind of extreme crazy Christian who's like, hey, you know what, Jesus is coming, so let's just get it all over with. What do you say? We go start slaughtering people, so Jesus will come back and split them out. Right? Right. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So when Ahmadinejad says, help me hasten the return of the promised one, what does he mean by that?
Essentially, the method that they believe that they can hasten the return of the Mahdi is to attempt to carry out the things that he will do. So they're pushing for the unification of the Islamic world. And some of these radicals believe that by initiating global chaos, that they can force the hand of Allah, force the hand of God to make the Mahdi emerge.
So the best case scenario is he means that by saying, I want a global caliphate.
Best case scenario, and in the midst of that, we have to consider the fact that you cannot separate that from the destruction of the state of Israel and the Jewish people.
Okay. Joel Richardson is the author of The Islamic Antichrist, and Dr. Zuhdi Jasser is a practicing Muslim and physician. He is also president of the American Islamic Forum for Democracy. I'm going to go to Zuhdi here in a second, but Joel, I want to come to you first, and you take me through this chalkboard, because, America, this is going to freak you out, and don't take my word for it. Don't. I'm telling you, everybody's going to... I can't wait to read the headlines in about an hour. This is amazing. Do not take my word for it. Joel, take me through. This is the Jesus side. This is what's in the book of Revelation of the Antichrist. This is the general story in case you don't know anything about Christianity. End of the world, Jesus comes back, but this is the story leading up. This is the story of the 12th Imam, or the Mahdi. And this is, see, it's a story. I did this about 5 years ago and about wet my pants when I finished the research on it. Let's go here. Take us from the beginning. Here's what the Bible says the Antichrist does.
Yeah, on the left-hand side, you have the bad guy of the Bible. He primarily persecutes God's people, the Jews and the Christians.
The Imam,
he likewise causes Jews and Christians either to submit to Islam or be killed.
Where do you find this?
It's abundantly found throughout the Islamic sacred traditions known as the Hadith.
Okay. The Antichrist rules for 7 years, according to the Bible. The Mahdi, or the 12th Imam,
according to Islamic sacred tradition, also rules for a period of 7 years.
Makes peace with Israel, breaks the peace treaty halfway through.
Yeah. On the biblical side, the Antichrist then invades the land of Israel, conquers the land of Israel for his antichristic powers. On the Islamic side, the Mahdi also invades the land of Israel and, as they would say, takes it back for the Muslim world.
Okay. Wait until we have to take a break. We're going to come back, and wait until you get to the mark of the beast. Next. Back with Joel Richardson, and we're going through the end of times. This is the Bible side, and this is from the Hadith, which the 12th Imam, or the Mahdi, and we're showing the 12th Imam, or the Mahdi, and the Antichrist kills Jews and Christians, rules for 7 years, Peace with Israel, breaks peace. The Imam, peace with Israel, and breaks peace. Global seat set up at the Temple Mount. Kills and beheads non-believers. The 12th Imam kills and beheads non-believers. But then you get to the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast, Christians believe that you're going to get some sort of a number and you're marked.
According to the Bible, the mark of the beast is a mark that is put on the foreheads that essentially condemns someone to hell. On the Islamic side, the Muslims have picked up on this tradition, except in Islamic tradition, the beast is a good guy. And he marks the foreheads of all true Muslims. And so, in essence...
Uh-oh. Commercial time. Sorry, you guys. Hold on a minute.
The 8th Annual Expressive...
Since Muslims are desiring that they would receive the mark of the beast.
And who is the beast? The Antichrist, or is...
The beast, according to Islamic tradition, is a literal beast that comes up out of the earth.
Okay, so Ahmadinejad, when he says the 12th Imam, he wants this guy to come.
He wants the Mahdi.
Yeah, okay. Perfect. Hasten the return of this guy. In both stories, it ends the same. I mean, it's very similar all the way through. Jesus returns. But this Jesus, we know, splits the mountains and says, hey,
On the biblical side, Jesus returns to deliver his people from having been defeated and crushed, persecuted, beheaded.
Right. And here?
On the Islamic side, the Muslim Jesus returns and tells the Christians of the world, you've had it wrong all along. Your Bible is corrupt. I never claimed to be the Son of God. I never died on the cross. Islam is the true religion. Follow the Mahdi.
Okay.
Or die.
Let's say, America, that you don't believe in religion. You don't believe in any of this stuff. Somebody went back. You say man just made this up. Man wrote this and man wrote this. But somebody intentionally did the reverse. I'm assuming that this is all in your book, right?
Yes.
And I'm assuming there's more in the Hadith than just this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Does the story veer off at all? Or are they still basically the same stories? Just one is the polar opposite.
Yeah, in a general sense, they are precisely polar opposites.
No mistaking that Ahmadinejad, Iran, the Muslim Brotherhood, they're looking for this guy to come.
Yeah, they would not call him the 12th Imam. They are awaiting.
They call him the Mahdi.
The Mahdi, yes.
Okay.
All right, what do you think? Somebody give me some feedback. Whoa. Wow.
So can I ask a question? So is he saying that the Muslims are the ones that believe that the mark of the beast is like a mark in your hand or in your forehead or whatever that is? I heard him mention that.
Mm-hmm. No, the Muslims believe that the beast is a real beast and that he's coming up out of the earth.
So who's the one that believes in that the mark is going to be, because he asked him about the mark, and he said, well, they believe that the mark is either in the hand or in the head.
That's what Revelation says, that you'll have it on your head or your forehead or in your right hand.
Okay, so can that also have something to do with the Sabbath? We know that the Sabbath is,
no.
I'm sorry? Can I finish?
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Okay, no, okay, so if the Sabbath is a sign between God and his people, which there's somewhere in Revelation talks about it's a sign among his people. So, and we know that God takes his Sabbath very serious about us worshiping on the Sabbath. So, I guess my question is, could it have anything to do with the Sabbath? Because you have, I don't know if Islam keeps the Sabbath, or I don't know what kind of day they keep. I know Sunday keepers don't keep most of the Christians don't keep Saturday, they keep Sunday. And the Israelites believe in keeping the Sabbath. So I guess my question is, could that also mean the hands meet? You know how it says that on the Sabbath you do no work. And it tells about who do not do the work on the Sabbath and stuff like that. So could it mean that that hand means that not working on the Sabbath and the mind or those who keep the Sabbath?
No.
Mentally? No. I'm just asking.
No, let me tell you what it means. The mark is for an economic system that they're going to put up.
Mm-hmm.
The Revelation explicitly says that you will not be able to buy or sell anything unless you have the mark. So it has nothing to do with you keeping the Sabbath, more so than it has for you submitting your soul. It's a system that they're setting up right now, a cashless system. That you will not be able to buy anything or sell anything. Everything will be digital. So you'll swipe your hand over the thing and beep, beep, and it'll take it out of your checking account.
Okay, so that does make more sense to how they can actually control that and know who's.
They're going to control every resource on this earth. And if you miss the time to go into the wilderness, you're going to be in a bad shape.
Okay. And the reason I ask that is because I haven't started studying it, because I used to be, a 7-day Adventist, and that's what they teach about the Sabbath being the mark of the beast. It's the image of the beast. It's talking about worshiping the one world order, which is going to be a one world order, so we all are going to be worshiping. And the beast, I think they were saying the beast is supposed to be these people are waiting on Mahdi or whatever it's called. So anyway, but what I'm trying to get to understand, so when I run up on my sisters or brothers again, I can explain it in a different way. So that's why.
Right. I understand. No problem. I mean, I understand, but it's an economic system,
right,
where you won't be able to buy or sell unless you submit yourself to the will of Satan.
Can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
Shalom, everyone. This is Malcolm. Okay, so, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what I got out of what we just seen. The Mahdi story is synonymous to the biblical story of the Bible, which they say the Christian version, but a lot of it is the regular version anyway. He is the beast. Like, the pros and cons on one side is the exact opposite of the other side. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right, he's the Antichrist.
Right. That's the story, is just the flip side of the story. Like, where the Christians are wanting A and B is going to happen, and they're the B that's going to happen, is what I got out of it.
That's what they say.
Okay. All right. I was making sure I got that. That's a hot mess, but okay.
But doesn't Antichrist mean Antichrist mean against Christ, which is Antichrist, right?
Right. That's right.
And too, you want to remember, we have to divorce those of us that came out of Christianity. A lot of the stuff that's ingrained in us, we inherited from Christianity. You got to forget all about that stuff.
Yeah, I understand you have to get rid of it.
Not necessarily you, sis. I'm not saying necessarily.
No, I know. But my thing is, for me to, I don't want to forget all of it, because when I go and I talk to someone that's in that religion, I want to be able to have a discussion revealing both sides and how it makes sense and how it doesn't. How it can make sense and how it doesn't make sense. Because if I forget about all of it and I'm trying to talk to a sister or brother, you know what I'm saying? So some of that stuff I try to retain, not because I believe in it, but retain it so when I can explain my side of what I've come into the truth of, then I can debunk that stuff that I was taught, which they still believe in today. So that's why.
Right.
That's my side of it.
As in forget, so you won't know to talk to other people. When I said forget, I meant your own personal walk.
Yes.
Not necessarily forget.
So information, right. Right. Okay, yeah. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else? This is interesting, ain't it? It's getting really interesting. I'm just presenting their side. That's all I'm doing is presenting their side. We haven't even got through halfway of the slides yet, you guys. We haven't. I mean, this is how, and this is very important that we discuss this, because this is what they believe.
If I heard correctly, they believe that the mark is a good thing. We're not supposed to take the mark. They are waiting for the beast. We stay away from
the beast.
Yes. And my understanding is that Islam is almost the opposite of what we believe.
Yes.
If we believe it, they hold the opposite view.
Yes, indeed.
Still cheat. If you're not Muslim, you can lie, steal, and cheat. We're not supposed to do that to anybody regardless, but they can if they're not. So it's the antithesis of what I thought as a Christian and what I now know of as a Hebrew Israelite. It is the opposite.
Absolutely.
And so it will be very clear. Either you're going to conform with what they say or you are not. I am looking in my Bible, and I'm still looking at the 23rd of September and some of the interesting things that are going to happen there. And I think that what we are going to face is we're going to face either we conform with Muslims, with Islam, or else we are going to have to flee, because there's supposed to be a dragon, if you read on down in that 12th chapter, that is going to try to consume the child. That's us.
All right.
We are going to flee into the wilderness for a period of 3.5 years, and then all hell is going to break loose for those people who are not in the wilderness.
That's a part of the teaching. All right, here we go. You finished this?
Hold on. I got a thing I wanted to say, if y'all don't mind. Abraham is the father of Ishmael, and Abraham used to visit Ishmael from time to time, You understand? He would teach them the ways of the old traditions.
Mm-hmm.
But when he got too old to make that trip, then Ishmael came up with their own version, holding on to some of those things that that his father had taught him, but they created and incorporated stuff that they conceived. You understand? So that's how they get a whole lot of the stuff that they understand. I relinquish the mic.
That makes sense.
All right, one world religion. Both are said to possess political, military, religious power and head up a one world religion. Jerusalem as his capital. The Mahdi will force all non-Muslim people to convert to Islam. Like the Antichrist, the Mahdi will establish Jerusalem as his capital from which he will rule the earth. The center of Islamic rule. Jerusalem will be the location of the rightly guided caliphate and the center of Islamic rule, which will be headed by Imam al-Mahdi. Okay. Abolish the Jews. That will abolish the leadership of the Jews and put an end to the domination of Satan, who spit evil to the people and caused corruption in the earth, making them slaves of false idols and ruling the world by law other than the Sharia Islamic law of the Lord of the world. That's what it says. Pigs and dogs. Though Muslims revere Jesus as a prophet, they deny Jesus is the Son of God. Jews and Christians are to Muslim fundamentalists pigs and dogs who must either convert to Islam or be eliminated. One world religion. Muslim scholar Imam Muhammad Baqir states clearly how Mahdi will establish his one world religion. There must be bloodshed and jihad to establish Imam Mahdi rule. And Ayatollah Ibrahim al-Amani of the Religious Learning Center in Qom agrees, accept it or die. The Mahdi will offer the religion of Islam to the Jews and Christians. If they accept it, they will be spared. Otherwise, they will be killed. Here's my reference where I got that information from. I will send it to you if you would like. You can email me at the Yehuda Project at gmail.com, and I will send you the reference where you can read the rest of it. Ayatollah says, and this is the Ayatollah, coming from space. A prominent Iranian Ayatollah says the Mahdi, the end-time Muslim savior, will come back in a spaceship, and the sound of thunder and its power and speed is that of lightning. Sound familiar?
Yeah.
All right, let's see what else. Christ is supposed to come back on a white horse. No, the Messiah. Watch what it says. Iranian news report. His description was discovered in an Iranian news report by the Middle East Media Research Institution, which monitors and analyzes media reports in the region. Grand Ayatollah. The comment came from the Grand Ayatollah Nasser Makarim Shirazi, who operates his own website to promote his views. Setting the stage. Could a future alien encounter help usher in one of the greatest deceptions in humanity? Think about it. The alien arrival. If an alleged alien was to appear in some type of craft and the entire world watched it take place, you would have many who would already embrace this encounter before it had even occurred. Christian Antichrist. Interestingly, in the Bible, the Antichrist is actually only referred to once by the specific name, and that's in 1 John chapter 2, verse 18. The man of deception. Using other names, however, there are numerous references to the Antichrist found throughout the Bible. This is another picture that they have of the Imam, the Mahdi. Here's another picture. This is supposed to be Christ, and this is supposed to be the Mahdi. And then Christ is coming to assist the Mahdi into changing the world into an Islamic rule. Okay. Tradition says Al-Mahdi is the rightly guided one who, according to Islamic Hadith, tradition will come before the end of time to make the entire world Muslim. Another picture that somebody drew. This is real life. This is truly what they believe. Over 1,400 years. Over the last 1,400 years, numerous claimants to the mantle of the Mahdi has arisen in both Shiite and Sunni circles. Syria. Now in 2014, Mahdiism is active in Syria as the jihadist opposition group Jihad al-Nusra claims to be fighting to prepare the way for his coming. Apocalyptic battle. And in the new Islamic State Caliphate, spanning Syrian and Iraq territory, as its leadership promotes the upcoming apocalyptic battle with the West at Dabir in Syria. Here's another one. One man to unite them all. This is what they believe, that this is their belief. 20 years. According to Mohabbat News, a pro-Israel Iranian Christian news agency, the fear of the hidden Amin is so credible that they posted news on how the CIA and MI6 have been going to Iraq for the past 20 years to get information about the Imam Mahdi. Torture of the innocent, how they tortured religious scholars and innocent villagers to ask questions based on where the Amin was last seen, which city, what time, and when will he be coming again, and in which year. Shoot him on sight. So who is the Imam Mahdi that the Zionists controlling the American Congress and the international monetary system on the lookout for with orders to shoot him on sight? They send orders out to CIA and MI6 to tell them, if y'all see him, kill him. Amin Mahdi is the 12th Shiite Amin, and according to Islamic Hadith, is the occultation or hidden and will return to earth to establish peace and justice on the earth. So born in Iraq. He was born on July the 29th, 869, in the city of Samarra, Iraq, and his mother was Nargis, was of Roman descent. So here's another picture of what he looks like. Well, what one of them they say they look like. Here's Samarra. It's actually it's close to Baghdad. It's over in this area.
So that's why that ISIS group is fighting all throughout that region. That is amazing. That's why they were doing all that beheading. They're preparing for this, the Mahdi.
Here's another. Here's Samarra right here. Here's Iran. Here's Baghdad. It's all in here. Iraq over here. Here's Syria. There's Syria. There's Jordan. There's Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey. Hidden from birth. He was kept hidden from birth till he disappeared because the ruler of the time, the Abbasids, knew the prophecy of Amin Mahdi, who would bring about a revolt against the opposition and tyranny. Here's the city where he lived. Samarra. This is what it looks like. Prophesied once. The Abbasid knew that the prophesied one would be the son of the 11th Shia, Amin al-Askari. Under protection. In order to kill the child at the birth, they kept a close eye on his household, even inspecting the women of the household to see who was with the child. So according to their legend, there's always been an order out to kill him. They was always trying to kill this child from being born.
Mm-hmm.
Rim of the hidden. According to the story, the child's birth and the first few years were kept secret. However, as soon as Amin al-Askari was killed, the son, who was about 4 years old, went into the rim of the hidden. Somebody tell me where that is. So as soon as his father died, he went into the rim of the hidden. Let's see. Picture somebody had about it. Here we go. Middle Earth, the hidden rim.
Middle East?
Oh, here it is on the screen.
Middle Earth? Okay, the hidden.
Earth.
Wow.
Remember we talked about Middle Earth?
Yep.
He's in the inside of the earth.
I don't see nothing.
You don't see that screen? You might want to refresh your screen. Can you guys see the
mine
screen?
didn't change. It says Middle Earth, the hidden rim, but it didn't show the picture.
So it says Middle Earth, but where's Middle Earth, though? I mean, Middle Earth.
In the middle of the earth, inside of the earth.
So you're just talking about the earth itself, not a certain geographic area, just the earth itself.
He's in the inside of the earth, inside of the core of the earth. There's a place called Middle Earth.
Okay. I never heard of that.
This is where they say the Anunnakis dwell, and this is where they say it's a whole big teaching about Middle Earth.
Oh, okay. That's the first I've ever heard of it. Okay.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
you must have missed that teaching, sis. Well, you must have missed that.
Oh, yeah,
I'm going to have to put that one online. I mean, we really went into that. But if you get into it, it's a great teaching where they're talking about that one of the, I forgot what his name was, Admiral Byrd. Admiral Byrd went on a mission. And when he got to a certain part in the South Pole or the North Pole, I forgot which one, that his plane, someone took over the power of the plane and pulled him into the earth. He said that they said that there is a hole at the top of the North Pole where you can actually go into the earth, and they pulled him in, and there he had access to different species and different beings, and there he went in and spoke to these beings. It's a whole, I'll send you the information. It's a whole story on this.
So would I be able to pull it up online then? You have it there?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And there's history all over the place about this in the Middle Earth. That's why they've been talking about the Antarctic and the angels that are inside of the earth in the Antarctic. It's a big thing about that.
Oh, right. Antarctic.
Door. And I even heard a Hebrew Israelite teacher say that Enoch is not in the heavens, that Enoch is in somewhere in the earth hidden. Well, guess what? This will be the perfect place, because if you read the story of Enoch, remember, Enoch went away for a while before he was finally taken. And when his son came to him to inquire as to whether or not Noah was truly of the humans or whether he was of the angels, Enoch heard him.
Right.
I mean, it's all starting to make sense now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's all in the book. So they said the hidden realm. Let me see what it says. It says history. In the depth of the earth, buried underneath the reality of man, there where only truth lies, unhindered and unchanged by any perception, expectation, or deception of time, rumbles in the heart of the world, in the land between lands, there where the elements reign supreme. Middle Earth is a land of limbo, where there is no right or wrong. We as humans, with our human mind, would perceive it as foreign, hidden, and unjustified, where you dare not be found. Middle Earth is removed from our reality, as it is the central land of all elementals. Still haunted by evil. He reappeared after a few years, but I'm sorry, we went back into that. I don't want to bring that in yet. But this place is where, where everybody seems to go, where they're not disturbed of any kind at this point.
That almost sounds like something that the Jehovah's Witness believe, with the limbo, where it's like you between heaven and hell. You're not in heaven nor in hell, but you're like in the middle. And they teach that. It makes
sense. I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
I thought that was purgatory. Then what's purgatory?
That's what I'm saying. Well, that's what it sounds like to me. This Middle Earth thing is. If you go back to, I'm sorry.
I said the Catholics say that's purgatory.
Right. Well, I'm just saying this sounds similar to me. It sounds similar to what they teach.
It might be. I mean, we don't really know. I'm just sharing the information with you. I mean, I don't know for sure one way or the other. I know that according to the New Testament, when Christ rose, he led captivity captive, and they came up with him. So, but there is stories that there are beings in the middle of the earth. There are vehicles in the middle of the earth right now that are coming and going, coming in and out of those portals, making themselves visible in our dimension where we are now.
Now we do believe there's only one return of Christ. It's not like when you come, he get the righteous and you go back 7 years, but there's some that's still left here to get themselves together, then he come back and that's the final judgment, because that's a teaching too.
Say that again now.
Okay, there's a teaching that and most Christians believe in this, the tribulation, that they won't be on earth for the tribulation, but they're taken up to heaven for 7 years. And then and then you have people that didn't get it right the first time, so after the 7 years, they have 7 years to get it right.
Right, that's what the Christian, right.
Okay, so that's something that's not biblical.
No.
Okay. Well, no,
everything we're going to do is going to be on this earth. The Most High said he has prepared a place for us in the wilderness, where he's going to a place of safety. That's what he said, Jacob's trouble. He said, Jacob shall be saved out of it. There's a wilderness location where we will be safe, but no Christian is going to be swooped off the earth and taken nowhere out of no place. Oh, my gosh.
It's a teacher, there's a heavy teaching out there.
Go ahead, sis, I'm sorry.
I was just saying there's a heavy teaching out there, and it's a left behind crap is what it comes from.
I know, I lived it, I know. You know what, I have about $100 worth of books that I want my money back for all that mess. I know exactly what you're talking about. Believe me, and they believe it, and this is the hope that they holding on to, and all of that stuff is false. That's not going to happen. They don't believe it, though. The Bible said that that you're going to be caught up in the twinkling of a moment of an eye, and you're going to be forever with the Lord. That has nothing to do with this right here, what we're talking about. We have got to go through this period where we are going to be preserved and put into safety, where the enemy is going to rule, and ain't nobody going to escape the stuff that they did to us when we were slaves. And they be like, well, I didn't do it. Them was my ancestors. Well, guess what our response is to that? We didn't do it either. Our ancestors did
exactly.
What we did. And we sit right in this captivity because of what our ancestors did.
Exactly.
Somebody said we need a teaching on that. We're going to have it because when we go into the Christian part of what the Christians believe, we're going to cover all that. Right now we're just dealing with what the Muslims believe. But when we do the Christian, that's why I told you guys, we can't do it all at one time because it's just too much information.
It sure is. It is.
Break it down and according to belief.
But the reason I think a lot of Christians are going to be lost, and it's lost today, is because they don't believe in the Old Testament.
Yeah, right. And that's where our history is. That's where our prophecy is. That's where our Exodus comes out of, is the Old Testament. And as long as they can keep you from the Old Testament, you'll never know what the exit strategy is for the second Exodus. We've got to leave the lands of our captivity and go back to where we came from.
Exactly. And see, that's why it wasn't making any sense to me when I was, with the Adventists for all these years, that it just never made any sense. I just couldn't make the connection because we're just teaching out of the New Testament. I'm like, this is not making sense to me. So I just thank the Lord that I'm just thankful. I'm just so thankful.
I understand, sis. I feel you. All right, here we go. We're going to finish this up real quick. Say again?
So you think Enoch is in the ground?
I don't know where Enoch is. I said that's what one of the Hebrew teachers taught.
Oh. Because I want to know what happened to all the men that was with him. Because in Jasher it talks about all the men, and they came up missing too. Remember? And it said how the people came back and was looking for all the people because they went being nosy after Enoch, trying to figure out what he was doing and where he was going. And he kept telling them, like, no, y'all can't come with me. Y'all got to stay here. But then they vanished. And then the people went looking for them, and all they found was pillars of dirt. And they like, well, maybe the men got killed, so let's look for them. And they start digging under the dirt hills, which was on the ground, but they never found anything.
I have no idea.
but they have all...
I have no idea. I don't know. You know, those are the hidden things that the Most High has not revealed unto us. You know, and those might be the ones that the Scriptures is talking about, the hidden ones. I have no idea. But I would love to know. I'm going to definitely pray and ask him to reveal, but I don't know. I don't even want to make an assumption on that because I just don't know.
They have messed the book up. I mean, wow. They just have messed the Bible up. Just added, taken,
it really
reduced.
Is, you know what? It's really not messed up because guess what? We know a whole lot about what's going on. It's just that the hidden knowledge and the secret knowledge, you got to go to Yah to ask him for it. And who better to get it from?
Oh, yeah, but what I mean as far as taking some of the books out of the original Bible, you know, knowing that they're selectively taking what they want to leave in and what they want to take out. And that confuses the people. You don't have the whole full story, and, you just can't visualize it. So that's what I mean when I say messed up, when it's happening with the books like that.
That's true. But even with about 30-something books that's missing? It's about 30-something books that's completely missing.
Yeah.
But let's get back to this so we can finish, and then we can open up the conversation. Still haunted by evil, he reappeared after a few years, but disappeared again as the hunt for him gathered pace to await the ordained hour to reappear and to destroy the perpetrators of evil and restore humanity. Okay? NBC News interview. An interview conducted by Ann Curry on behalf of NBC with Iran President Ahmadinejad was not aired in 2019 because his answers about the hidden Imam did not support the views that they wanted to perpetuate that he would bring about an apocalypse. President Ahmadinejad corrected her by stating, what is being said about an apocalyptic war and the global war, this is what the Zionists are claiming. Imam will come with logic, with culture, and with science. Jesus Christ and the Mahdi. He will come so that there is no more war, no more enmity, hatred, no more conflict. He will return with Jesus Christ. The two will come back together, and working together, they will fill this world with love. Zionist is the real enemy. The last thing Israel would want is that Christian groups should wake up and realize that the real enemy is not Islam, but Zionism, the fake Jew. If Israel is basing its policies on some biblical belief that it was their right to return to Jerusalem as the chosen people after 2,000 years of wandering, he said they are Khazars, keeping in mind the occupiers of the Palestinian land are originally Khazars. Then it shouldn't come as a surprise that its leaders believe that it is fulfilling some kind of messianic prophecy. The deception is great. He said the fact that a strategy is being implemented by Israel with the support of the U.S. to search for the hidden Imam leads one to believe that maybe there is some truth in the biblical story. Here's another picture that somebody did. We're almost finished. We got a couple more slides and we finished. That's what it said. And continue. And in a world where we still want to believe in superheroes, it's not so illogical if our eyes look wistfully with hope for an army that will emerge from Khorasan carrying black flags led by the prophesied one and fight against injustice. That is the Mahdi, the coming of the Mahdi. And that's my reference. I'm going to leave this on the board. Any questions? We are open for a conversation if you want. This is our story this is our research of the Muslim Mahdi and what they are expecting to come, who they're expecting to come, and all of that. And Sister Sanaya said, isn't Abraham's bosom in the middle of the earth, along with a cavern that separates the souls there from ones that are being punished? That's what the scripture says. But when Christ rose, he led captivity captive, which was me. They came up with him out of there. That is the place where, according to the Christian story, is that the Messiah went into the earth, and he had a confrontation with Lucifer, and they actually had a physical confrontation, which was spoken of in Genesis chapter 3, where it says that he was going to bruise his heel and he was going to bruise his head. That Christ bruised the head of Lucifer, and that Lucifer bruised the heel of Christ, that they had a physical confrontation, and when he rose on the third day, that those saints came up with him, according to the New Testament, that they actually came out of there with him. So I don't know about what's going on now, if it's still a holding place, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, when it all comes out, it's all going to be presented in a nice, neat little package where people are going to say, yeah, now that makes sense. Just don't be fooled, because we have to wait on Yah. They're going to come doing all kinds of signs and wonders. All right, the floor is open, you guys. What you want to talk about?
I was just going to say for Jesus or Yahshua or Yahushua or whatever you want to be calling them, not to be real, they sure found a way to work him in their story. Everybody, they might not put him out front, but there's somebody penciling me in somewhere, because really, why do you, if the Mahdi's supposed to, well, let me shut up, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Everybody has a story. And the fact, I mean, when you really get into it, it's deep. I mean, you know, I just kind of scratched the surface because I didn't want to spend weeks and weeks on this, but I left it up to you all to do the research. But when you really get into the story of what they believe and what they're expecting to happen, it's deep. And my son used to always tell me that it was the Muslim religion. He said, it's the Muslim religion that's going to take over. It's the Muslim religion that we're going to have to contend with. And I was like, nah, because the Antichrist has to come on the scene for the Israelites. He has to come on the scene for the Israelites. So we'll see, because it's going to be it's going to get very interesting here in a minute. Anybody else?
Because it's
nobody has nothing to say.
It's like we're expecting that bad guy to come, and they saying we are the bad guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, they saying we the good guys. You just think we the bad guys.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they saying. We really are the good guy. You just think we the bad guy because you just sold a bill of goods, but that ain't really how the story went. The story went like this. And they're waiting on this person to come out of earth, out of Middle Earth, whether he comes out in a spaceship or not, because we know that according to the history of Middle Earth, they have spaceships down there and everything, and whether he's going to come from a spaceship or not. And then the Catholics is talking about aliens are coming, and can they be saved, and will they ever be able to be baptized and all that. Man, this is getting ready to get real. It's getting ready to get real.
What about the Anunnaki, too?
Well, I mean, you know,
everybody else is coming. It's going to be wild. I'm hoping that...
To be honest with you, I think that they may be the same people.
Oh, really?
I really do.
And if you compare notes across the board, one thing we know for sure, something's getting ready to happen. Two, it's going to be some bad stuff mixed in there. And three, somebody coming. Now, we might not be able to pinpoint who, what, when, where, how. But if you do a census across the board, everybody's pretty much in agreement on at least, not necessarily the details of the story, but certain facts, everybody on the same page. One, something's going down. Two,
somebody coming.
Right.
That's what's happening.
You know, and everybody's waiting for somebody to show up. Everybody's waiting for somebody to show up. No.
You know, I'm wondering why we have to deal with all this confusion. We should be in a place safe. Why do we have to store up water and food? Why ain't we out of here?
Well, I mean, we have to do what we have to do, Sister Sanaya. Yes. Because one thing we know is that
out of here?
This system is on its way out. I mean, look at
when it goes down, it's going down worldwide. Everybody think, I'm going to go to the Caribbean. I'm going to go to Timbuktu. I'm going to have. They don't understand when it goes down, it's going down. It's worldwide. It ain't just in United States of America.
And let me back on her with what she just said. Remember when we did the class about America's dollar being the main dollar on the economic system, that all the countries, whether they buy or sell or whatever, they have to do it with American dollars. Remember they established that back a while ago when they established the oil or whatever it was. I forgot what it was. Remember we did a teaching on that? So when America falls, everybody's falling. It's going to fall across the board, and then somebody's going to step up and say, well, let me fix it. And that's when you're going to see who's going to be who.
And you know that they're printing less and less dollar bills.
Yeah, it's obvious. They're not printing new money.
Go to the
They're
bank
trying
and
to take it out the market. There ain't going to be no money in a minute. We're going to a cashless society. They're just doing it slow so that people that know prophecy don't alarm everybody else.
Right. Yeah, because it's going to start off everything digital. Because right now, I ain't going to lie, I don't use currency. I do everything through my cell phone. When I pay bills or I might use a debit card when I go to the grocery store, but the majority of my stuff I do right from my cell phone. So I make it a point to try to keep cash dollars per se in my purse, but I can totally function without currency like that.
And you cannot get new dollar bills, period.
Really?
I
haven't tried. I work for a bank. I haven't really tried it, but I don't know.
I mean,
but it all seems to make sense.
Can't get it. Can't get them.
Dollar bill. Look at the 20s and all. Every time I go, and I think I'm going to get nice, crisp 20s. No, those bills have been used.
They're circulating that same nasty money around.
Hey, I mean,
$1 bills.
But I mean, look at it like this. This country is owned by the Zionists. We know that. There's no question about that. And for those patriots who believe that the white man is still running America, no, sir. This is owned by the Zionists. When they allowed the Federal Reserve to come in and they allowed them to print the money, the country was hijacked then. It had served its purpose. The moment Israel began to wake up the way that they woke up, like we're waking up, they know the prophecy just like we do, and you look at the state of the country where we're in right now, it is on its way out. We have so much debt that we will never be able to pay back the Chinese what we owe them. We will never be able to get our deficit down to where it's supposed to be. We'll never get there, and they know that. So guess what? They know what time it is.
Yep.
We'll never be able to pay that money back. We was the commodity. The people was the commodity. The people was the what do you call it? The collateral. We were the collateral. And guess what? They taxed us to try to get the money back from us, and they still ain't been able to do it. We have gone deeper and deeper and deeper in debt. It's just not going to work because why? Because it has served its purpose.
So all that raping resources from these different countries that they colonized, we broke.
We broke. Yeah, we broke. The money has no value at all anymore. It's just basically fiat currency that they're passing around. It's not backed by anything. And everybody knows if you pull up YouTube and you pull up some of these people like Steve Quayle and Tom Horn and some of the other ones that's out there talking about our condition, they'll tell you, man, it's about over with. They will tell you that we are headed, that eventually, really soon, they're not going to be able to keep floating that money because it has no value. Everybody, it's like Brother Doniel say, it's like a string that's hanging from your shirt, and you know if you pull that string, it's going to unravel the whole sleeve. So while we have a job, make the most money you can make your life as comfortable as you can, store up as much as you can store up, And if we need it, we have it. If we don't need it, then we have to leave. Then we're ahead of the curve. And we may be able to leave it behind for some of our family. But we still got to put forth an effort because manna is not falling out of the sky in America. I don't think so anyway. But like the sis said earlier, look at how many people are still in the dark. How many people waiting on Jesus to come and get them? We ain't even dealt with that yet. We still just in the Muslim stuff. How many of the Christians is not putting forth any effort at all, whether they're black or white, because they waiting on Jesus to come and get them?
Yeah. I made a mistake of trying to call myself enlightening people and talking, and they all looked at me like I was crazy. This past weekend, I went away, and, I feel embarrassed because they looked at me like, like I was a person that didn't hat, So I just shut up.
I learned how to do that a long time ago, Sister Nathaniel. I don't even go through it no more. I pray for them.
Yeah.
Have the State of the Nation address. I'm going to invite my family again to come. And if they come, they come. If they don't come, they just don't come. It's just something I would love for them all to just at least listen. But one thing that we have to realize is that their eyes are not open. They can't see what you're talking about.
That's right.
They can't see it. I remember sitting down with my cousin, them was Rastafarians, and they was trying to tell me, and one of my cousins spoke up back then. I was young. They was like, I don't need telling her that. She can't even see that. And I couldn't see it. I just didn't see it. It was nothing that they could tell me to make me see it because I couldn't see it. That's the difference between the elect and the very elect. Mm-hmm. Because the Most High has opened up your eyes for you to see it for such a time as this, and we're ahead of the game. And guess what? Here at Yehuda, we teaching stuff don't nobody else teach.
You're right.
Well, some of it is on brain overload, but guess what? You got to know because knowing is half the battle. Not offending any of the Muslims because that's not what we're doing. We're not trying to offend nobody. We're just basically giving information, and we just scaled the surface. We haven't even got deep into it so that you know that everybody is waiting on somebody. Everybody is.
Mm-hmm.
Who are the elected?
Who are got ships? Everybody coming on the ship. Jesus said he coming on a cloud. Well, guess what the cloud was? The cloud was a ship. It was a ship by day and it was fire by night. Everybody waiting on the same stuff.
Laugh when you say there was some kind of vehicle, flying vehicle. Oh, spaceship. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's funny. Okay.
My sister did me the same way. She said, and my sister is a pastor in the Christian church. She said, so now you're trying to tell me that God rides in a spaceship.
And what would he need a spaceship?
Ooh, yeah, that's what she said. And why would he need a spaceship?
He doesn't.
And that's what I told her. He doesn't, but he does have an army, and he rules his army the same way he would. So I said, but you all teach that he floats around, just a body floating around in the air somewhere and lands on mountains. That's not how it works. But, I can't tell them that because guess what? It's ingrained in them. You can tell them till you blue in the face. They don't believe it.
No, they don't believe it because it took a lot for me to come out of that myself. To believe that, it's spirit. They tried to tell me some kind of spirit, and I said no. Then I could see the way they were looking at me. I just stopped. She's going for the loony bin. I tried to stop.
And we've all been there and done that and got the T-shirt. But guess what? The scary part about it is, so does the Mahdi coming in the ship. Jesus is coming in the ship. Mm-hmm. God's supposed to be coming in the ship. Waiting for the aliens to come in the ship. So which ship is it?
But you're right, sister.
Okay, how do I know?
But Jesus is coming on a horse. He's coming out of the sky on a horse,
Yeah, that's what they say. Woo! It's a lot. It is a lot. On top of everything else, it's a lot. But they wait. This is what they're waiting on, the coming of the Mahdi. And then I was trying to find it. I couldn't find it anymore. But there is actually a mansion that they putting together for him over in Turkey.
Oh, wow.
I heard that on the news, and I pulled it up when I was at work, and I got a chance to see it. And it's a half-finished mansion that they are building for this Mahdi in Turkey, so that he'll have somewhere to live when he comes back on the earth. Critical.
Who are the elected?
Any questions? It's a lot. It's a lot to take in. It is next week we're going to do Christianity. And then the next week we're going to do the Catholic Church. And then the next week we're going to do the Israelites. So we all know, so you'll have this information as to what everybody believes, because everybody believes and everybody is waiting on somebody to come to bring in peace. Well, we know y'all not coming for peace. He coming for war.
That's what it says.
He coming for war. He getting ready to tear up some of the nations for what they did, how they parted his land and took the wealth and did what they did. He getting ready to come for war. But whoever this Antichrist is, he coming to make peace. My question is it going to be peace with us or peace with the fake Jew? It's like, man, what is really getting ready to happen? But the deception is going to be great. It's going to be great. They said the very elect will be fooled. It's going to be there. It's going to be great.
Yes,
ma'am.
Who are the elected?
What's that?
Again?
Who are the elected? Who are the very elect?
All of it is Israel. Now, how he separates the very from the elect, I don't know.
Well, there's a scripture that says that Jacob my elect, Israel my something, my firstborn. There's a scripture that talks about Jacob being the elect and Israel being
right. Israel is the elect, but he has them broken down into the elect and the very elect. So I don't know how he chose who's who. I don't know.
So in your Christianity teaching next Sabbath, are you going to be including the mark of the beast and the beast, identifying the beast?
Everything associated with that, yes. I'm going to include all of that, yes.
Okay.
So invite some of your family members and friends and see if they'll come. Yes, that's all going to be included, yeah. Because he's going to cut your head off according to what they say. If you don't believe in the Muslim stuff, your head going off.
Yeah. And that's
same
why
with the mark of the beast. It's going.
Say that again?
I said same with the mark of the beast. If you don't accept that, it's going.
It's going. Your head going off. Yes.
Yep.
Well, is that why ISIS is cutting people's heads off at this point?
Probably. That's gonna be the new capital punishment. It ain't gonna be no more electric chair or nothing. They gonna cut your head off.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be quick and painless. You know what I'm saying? I guess.
It's just getting there. You know the ball.
I doubt it will be painless.
I will be in the wilderness. Let me say FYI. Yaina Yisrael will be in the wilderness. If that becomes an option for me, I am out of here.
I'd be
I'm
here.
right behind you.
Yeah.
Right.
Do.
We pray.
We all.
Whatever Yah does, keep his laws, his statutes, and his commandments. Because we have got to be prepared to get ourselves presentable for what we need to do.
Right. It's under my husband. 1718.
All right. So is there any other questions before we dismiss? I think it was a good class today. It was very informative. There's way more to this than what I brought out. I just skimmed across the surface because it's a lot more information, and we leave it up to you to do your own studying if you choose to know more about it. But just know that the Muslims are waiting on the Mahdi. They're waiting on him. And then, I found another clip where they had supposedly, I got kind of mad when I seen it. I don't know how true it is. But in Iran, they have a tomb where Esther and Mordecai is supposed to be buried. But all over the tomb is nothing but the fake Jew writing. And then they got candles where you can light the candles, all that mess. I just said, let me just cut this off.
How they get over there with that? Okay.
I have no idea, but they managed to do it. So it's supposed to be in Iran that they're over there.
That hasn't been in existence.
And it's just interesting. All of it is interesting. All right, anybody have anything else they want to talk about, report, make a comment about before we dismiss?
I have a question. Is there any way to see the slides once the class is over?
No, I do not share. I do not pass out my teaching slides. But what I will do, I can send you the references where I got the information from. If you email me at the Yehuda Project, once the Sabbath is over today, I will email you all of the reference. I'll email you the reference slide, and because I got them from articles and different things over the internet.
All right.
You'll be able to read all of it in its entirety.
Thank you.